Hi everybody, Carolyn Caldwell here from Caldwell Evolution with day 25 of how to get stuff done, 30 tips in 30 days. So today is number 25 and today is myth number 8. And the myth is that productive people have an unlimited or an extraordinary amount of focus or discipline, and that's how they are able to get things done. So unfortunately, that is just not true. There are lots of productive people that I know, and some people who I don't know that I've read about, who do not necessarily have extraordinary amounts of focus or discipline, and they are still able to get things done. What productive people do have is a different mindset than unproductive people. Productive people have the mindset of getting things done. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to see it through. It's going to be accomplished because I want the result. It contributes to my why. It maybe contributes to my greater vision. For whatever reason, they decide this thing is going to get done, and they're going to create an environment where they can make sure that they get it done. So Tim Pischel talks about productive people using productivity or willpower prosthetics. And he talks about using alarms and triggers and cues and other resources to make sure that things can get done. So productive people use a mindset of productivity, a mindset of getting things done, and then they access those resources which they need in order to make sure that they can get it done. They may not have focus, so perhaps they use triggers and cues and accountability partners to make sure that they stay on task until something is done. They may not be disciplined, so again, they perhaps use accountability partners to make sure that they stay on task to get something done. So the myth-busting strategy is to know yourself. What do you need to get something done? If you have a task that needs to be done and you fear that you may become unfocused, distracted, disorganized, or undisciplined, or fill in the blank, whatever it is for you specifically, what do you need to make sure that you can get that thing done? If you need 45 minutes and it's very difficult for you to keep track of 45 minutes and you don't want to be looking at your phone because that will just distract you to get into fill in the blank, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, then why not use a 45-minute playlist? Put together a 45-minute playlist, start the playlist. When the playlist ends, it's time to get off that task. That strategy also works for individuals who are managing hyperfocus. Another strategy is working with an accountability partner. If you have somebody who can support you and you let that person know that before the end of the day today, I'm going to get this thing done, whatever this thing is, get that accountability partner to check in with you at a predetermined time at the end of the day. I'm going to call you at 4 o'clock and we're going to talk about whether your thing got done. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. You have until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. What do you need to do to make sure that when that accountability partner calls or texts or whatever, your thing has been completed? So those are productivity prosthetics. There's lots of them. Accountability partners, triggers, cues, alarms. You can use your clock as an alarm. If you're doing that, put it on the far side of the room so that you have to get up from what you're doing to turn off the alarm. So I hope that's helpful, everybody. The myth that productive people have extraordinary amounts of focus and discipline, it's just not true. What they do use is techniques and strategies that make themselves productive. They use productivity prosthetics, alarms, triggers, accountability partners, to lists is another one to make sure that they can get their thing done. So I hope that's helpful. I hope you've been able to hear me. There's still a lot of sawing and hammering going on down there, but I hope that's helpful, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye now.